Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Good day again, St. Lucia, and welcome to the program, Agriculture on the Move. My name is Phillip Sydney, your host. Today's topic is the One Health concept. I will not venture in that area now. I have two gentlemen who are well versed to dissect this and to let you know what is the One Health concept. To my immediate right is Dr. Joseph. He will tell you who he is later, his capacity. And of course, our good old friend, Dr. King. Who don't know Dr. King?
Hello.
Dr. Joseph, One Health concept. What is this concept?
Okay. One Health is not a new concept. I guess it was, should I say, rebirthed, where you had the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, the OIE, the World Animal Health Organization, and FAO, the Food Agricultural Organization of the UN, came together and decided that there has to be a better way in addressing health issues. Okay. Because they realized that a lot of new diseases were escalating, and 70% of those diseases were what you call zoonotic diseases, meaning that originating from animals and being able to cross the barrier and affect human beings. So they decided to come together and to try to address those issues on the one umbrella. Okay. So the One Health concept was rebirthed, I would say, in about 2004, 2005. And again, to try to address the issues of health, where you have the human, the animal, and the environmental interface, that triangle that has to be present for disease to manifest. Okay. So the idea was to make it more cost-effective, proactive, and efficient in addressing disease situations. Okay. So this is what gave rise to the One Health concept. So basically, moving from addressing health in silos, animal, environmental, human, and then having the connectivity to address them holistically.
Great. But Dr. King, One Health, based on what I read, that has been there from eons, eh? I mean, I've always have this joke saying, that's before God had a diapers.
Yes, it is. It's not a new concept. And it's almost, and you know why it's not new? Because it is how human beings naturally and innately know that we are part of an environment and that the quality of our life and our health is dependent on our entire environment, which is what we eat, with the air we breathe, the sea, the water. In other words, we are ecological beings living in an ecological environment, and our health is determined by that environment. Correct. And I think there was a time when we went into a very, we called it science, but it wasn't really science. We allowed certain things to distract us, and we began to believe that human beings are separate from their environment, and we have the technology to manage ourselves almost independent of the environment. Now, of course, the science has led us right back to One Health, which is telling us we cannot be independent of our environment. Now, Dr. Joseph mentioned zoonotic diseases, things like the avian flu, the swine flu, that cross, and every year you'll get them crossing, and new strains are coming. Yes. And of course, some of them are absolutely deadly and have the potential to be pandemic and cause horrendous casualties in terms of what those viruses can actually do. But it goes even beyond that. Think of cancer, the rising cancers, and how much of that cancer is environmentally related. When you read the pathology literature, they'll tell you up to 75% of cancers are related to the environment, what we get exposed to. So it could be chemicals, it could be infectious diseases like viruses, it can be a whole range of shall we say, agents in our environment that interact with us and cause us to have cancer. So One Health has now come back. In fact, I'm really pleased to be with Dr. Joseph, because when he was Chief Veterinary Officer and I was Chief Medical Officer, we started a process of how we could bring health and agriculture together under this One Health umbrella. And we're still there advocating for that.
Funny, because when you really look at it, there's a symbiotic relationship with humans, animals, of course, and we live in the same environment. So whatever impact one will always impact the other. That's why I see it. But why it took so long? From the time it originated, I gathered that you said, the scientist, is reborn, the rebirth.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, why it took so long, Doc?
Okay. Took so long. This one I cannot give you an answer to why it took so long. But I think what is happening here is, I think it has to do with how agencies function. Okay. It has been, for me, the reason I can give to that is a lot of selfishness. Everybody wants to do things as a standalone, and it cannot and it will not happen. Okay. Our resources are becoming scarcer and scarcer, both human resource, financial resources, to deal with the situation. So, I mean, if we are proactive, or we understand the financial implications of those diseases manifesting, that it makes significant sense that it has been addressed as a collective.
That's right.
Our budget allocations are becoming less and less. Right. The demands are becoming greater and greater. So for me, it's logical that if you are going to address those issues, that you pool your resources and then approach your condition, your issues holistically, instead of doing them in isolation. Okay. The King spoke earlier on the issue of the disease manifestations. We need to understand that our health is based on what we eat.
That's right.
And if we understand that, the food that we grow is grown in an environment. Okay? So if that environment, that the medium that's been used to produce those food is not healthy, the food that we produce is not going to be healthy.
Correct.
We consuming those food, we consuming unhealthy foods, we ourselves are not going to be healthy.
That's right.
So it's logical that the medium first has to be kept healthy.
That's right.
So that the food grown in that medium is healthy. So we now will be consuming healthy foods.
So that you don't give Dr. Kim more work.
And I wanted to answer your question this way, because you caused me to think that in a way I have not thought before by your asking that question. And I was thinking that, you see, in the 19th century, as doctors, we did not have a lot of medicines, truly effective medicines available. So in those days, the concept of One Health was actually alive, because many doctors and health providers had to use the environment and things in the environment to keep people well.
That's right.
Right? But then in the 40s, so in the 20th century, after the World Wars, or around the time of the World Wars, we started to get penicillin, and then we started to get other antibiotics and other drugs. And the science of medicine evolved very quickly. And then we became focused on diseases and treating diseases. And it was not a World Health Organization, it was a World Disease Organization. So our focus was from disease and how do we manage diseases. So let people get sick, and then let us treat the people who are sick.
That's right.
That is how the thought process was.
Okay. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
We need to manage our time, and
Yes.
we need to manage the disease too. You're watching Agriculture on the Move. Stay tuned. Back soon.
What's in the food you're eating? Do you really even know? All the chemicals and hormones used to accelerate their growth. All the artificial flavoring, sweeteners and colors too. We consume and we don't spare a thought for the damage that they'll do. No, think about the children. Think about the children. How will we save them? Chemicals and GMOs are not the solution. Use organic and join. Excessive agrochemical use, additives, and genetically modified foods are harmful to health and the environment. Join the good food revolution. Grow, buy, and consume organic. A message from Rise St. Lucia and the Ministry of Sustainable Development with funding from the GEF Small Grants Program, UNDP. The Good Food Revolution.
Welcome back to the program, One Health Concept. Dr. King, you made a very interesting point during the break when you tried to elucidate on why it took so long. And you mentioned the environment playing a key role, looking at medication, to be used by humans and also by animals.
Right.
Could you continue?
Yeah, you see, so what I was saying is that then in the 20th century we became very disease-focused because we had these powerful medicines. Doctors became, if you remember in the 50s and 60s, we doctors became quite arrogant about how we could treat almost anything that came our way.
That's right.
And so you don't have to worry about what you do in life because we have a pill.
Yes.
We have a pill for that, right? Now we are realizing that that's not the answer. And we're looking at the whole spectrum of disease now. So we went from one pole to the other pole, and now we're looking at the whole spectrum for how you manage the health of people. And yes, if they get sick, we use these medicines to bring them back and then put them back on track for them to remain healthy.
Right.
So that concept now has caused us doctors to even shift in how we think, and now to join forces in an integrated way, in a multidisciplinary way, with the holistic practitioners, with the herbal practitioners,
Right.
with those of us who have our medicines that we use, and with our understanding of pathology and physiology, and of course with other players in this spectrum of managing people's health, agriculture,
Right.
The environmentalists, the engineers. In fact, it's a very exciting time because, true, as Dr. Joseph said, we've operated in silos before. Now we must get together in integrated teams with clear objectives focused on keeping people as well as they can be and keeping people healthy and the environmental healthy and humans, animals healthy, plants healthy, the ground healthy, the air healthy. That's where we are.
That brings me back to the points. I mean, some time ago you were on this program and we were talking about, the cancers, the spread of cancer.
Yeah.
And other diseases that are just mushrooming.
That's right.
And the idea is lifestyle.
It is.
Yes.
And it goes right back to what we eat.
Yes.
And if the environment is available and it's clean and we produce clean food, we'll be healthy. So less person will go into you, Dr. King.
Exactly. Well, a lot of people have a myth that we doctors will go out of business if the health business.
Yes.
That's not true. It's not true at all because, again, everybody has a role to play in this managing people's health. And doctors more and more are understanding that. Doctors are highly trained, highly educated individuals. I don't think anybody goes to school longer than a doctor.
Yes.
So doctors bring a wealth of knowledge of human physiology and pathology to the team. And that is so necessary. The truth is, many doctors and much of the team have seen doctors have seen themselves, and the team has seen doctors in a particular way. That has to change. So part of this revolution that we keep on talking about, it's time for a revolution. It's a mind revolution. It's a revolution of attitude to how we approach our daily business and our daily lives. And that the sooner that we all embark on that role, the better.
Yes,
in health right now, we are looking at health plans and reforming and transforming, revolutionizing health into an integrated health system. We are looking at integrated within health. However, we also need to look at integrating horizontally across the board with other ministries, other sectors, and so on, because that's the only way it's going to work.
That's right. So, Doc, let me ask you. So right now, is there a policy? Who is driving the policy? Is there a government policy as far as that One Health is as we speak?
Okay, I think there is presently a CARICOM initiative. CARICOM has taken this on board. They have what they call country ambassadors, and from what I know, Dr. King, or King, our CVO, is representing the veterinary. Is the veterinary ambassador on the One Health team. We have Dr. Eugene from Ministry of Health. She is representing the medical aspect on this initiative. So it has gone to that level, and I'm saying it's time that this thing take root locally.
Right.
The National Veterinary Medical Association, we will launch the association in April of this year, and the One Health focus is what we decided to make it our mantra. Okay, so this is what we're all about, and so we're trying to push this initiative from the grassroots level.
Okay, but from a ministerial standpoint, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Agriculture, and of course Sustainable Development, because you're looking at the environment. I was looking at it basically as part of the working program, the annual work program. How is that, where is that, and is that the way they will be going?
I'm hoping, because I think that's where it needs to go. There has to be a policy change, okay? Government would have to drive this, because I said earlier, our resources are becoming less. The demand on us to give a response is becoming greater.
That's right.
You know, so government would have to take the initiative in looking at the policies and how they integrate the way ministries operate. I'm hoping this is what is going to happen. I've seen in this new dispensation, there seems to be, I would say, integration as far as the ministries are concerned. You have more ministries operating under one minister, one portfolio. So I'm hoping this is where we're going with this. So it would facilitate.
But I'm hearing hoping, you're hoping.
No, well, I don't know. I'm saying...
you know, I'm hearing hoping.
No. I cannot speak for the government from the outside. I'm saying when I saw what happened with the change of ministries.
Yes.
Okay. For
it's
me,
a good way to start.
Yes. It's a positive. I'm hoping that the ministries operating within this umbrella could start integrating the whole policies and work programs, because that's the way we need to go.
But I don't want you to dismiss hope.
Yes.
I want to tell you, one of my favorite passages in the Bible is Romans 5. Perseverance over tribulation builds character, and character builds hope,
yes.
Because our hearts are filled with the love of God.
That's correct.
Now, that is beautiful. And so hope, when my friend Dr. Jose talks of hope, that's the hope. That's the hope he's talking about, because he's persevered.
Let me put a pin there. That's not the motorboat.
No, that's not the motorboat. That's the real hope.
That's the real hope.
And I think he has a point.
Yes.
But we must continue to advocate. Now, from our point of view, personally, Dr. Bird and myself, together with Jeff and the Hotel and Tourism Association, launched the Good Food Revolution.
Great.
Dr. Gabriel has come on board, and Gabriel, our oncologist, has come on board as well. Because what we realized is just what he was saying. It is our environment and our food.
That's right.
So we are saying we want to grow our own food, we want to grow organic food, or as pesticide and chemical-free food as possible. Our animals and our plants, we want them to be chemical-free. We don't want them to be genetically modified. We want to have good, local, fresh, healthy products that people consume, because we believe that that is how you actually get the One Health.
That's right.
So that is why we doctors joined with agriculture and sustainable development and the Hotel and Tourism Association to push this revolution, the good food revolution.
Okay.
And in fact, one of the things we want to do is look at how we can minimize people eating processed foods and high sugar and high fats and trans fats and all these kinds of foods. We want to see how we can put taxes on them, maybe raise those taxes to help us in our agriculture or in our health, help our One Health concept, and reduce processed food consumption.
Great. We are due for another break. You're watching Agriculture on the Move. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon. Don't go away.
For effective chemical treatment of black sigatoka, practice routine preventative maintenance of all tools and equipment, especially the mist blower, to ensure proper functioning. Clean sprayer after use and service the machine regularly, as recommended by the manufacturer. Whenever you are using pesticides to control black sigatoka disease, personal protection and safety measures must be followed. Spray operators must always wear proper protective gear. Before or when handling pesticides, put on your overalls, respirator, goggles, boots, and gloves to avoid contact with the skin, inhalation, and ingestion of pesticides.
For more information on how to treat and control black sigatoka on your farm or in your backyard garden, contact the Black Sigatoka Management Unit at 451-5491, 451-5894, or email bpmu@candw.lc. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the International Cooperation and Development Fund of the Republic of China on Taiwan.
Welcome back to the program, One Health. I'm feeling healthy already, Doc. Just talking about it,
Yes.
you know. But that green revolution, Dr. G, tell us a little more about it. Take it from the livestock perspective, you know, and let us see how it can marry the integration.
Okay. The green revolution, as the King indicated, it's all about producing safety foods.
All right.
Okay. We're talking about foods free from chemicals, MGOs as much as possible. And we have a very good opportunity here. I think the base is being established. We have the Caribbean Grains, which is a feed company that has been operating here for the past 2 years. And the reason why we chose Caribbean Grains is because, again, in moving the agenda forward, we realized that we had to be able to produce healthy foods for our people. One of the mandates that Caribbean Grain has is to produce feed that is free from growth hormones, growth promoters or enhancers, antibiotics, and that the protein used in those feed had to be plant origin, not animal.
Okay.
So this for us now, it gives us a very solid foundation under which we can start producing animal protein to satisfy our requirements nationally and possibly to export as well.
Okay.
So from the livestock perspective, that is in place, and that is for me very, very fundamental. We also have the standards for the production of some of the livestock species already sitting at the Bureau standards. So like I said, the ingredients are sitting there. We need to now put them together and to produce the things that we want to produce.
Okay.
Okay. So again, the issue of policy again has to come into play. So as much as we're doing the best that we can from the outside in, the policymakers would have to sit around the table and let us see how best we could gel this thing and move.
But is that
Let me come in there on that
Yes.
policy, because part of the project we have, the Good Food Revolution, part of that project involves policy and policy development. And the Ministry of Agriculture is presently working on a policy for organic and chemical-free production. So we are working with them because we have some finance to help from Jeff and from the Hotel and Tourism Association to help the Ministry of Agriculture to develop a proper policy and legislation that we hope to get into Parliament by next year, so that we can actually create that legal environment and that policy environment which will drive the revolution we are talking about.
Okay.
So I think that the door, our foot is in the door. The door is about to open, and then we will walk in, and I think we can come back out with the kind of policies we talk about. That's what we really.
That's good news.
That's what we're hoping.
Okay.
So far, what we have done is we have trained. We've used. We had experts like Thaddeus Constantine, Damien Ajuda. We've trained about 40 plus farmers in organic techniques, and in fact, being able to use develop their own what they call fertilizers, natural fertilizers,
yes.
using even
the compost tea,
and looking at the soils, and even using things like eggshells and stuff to create the material that can put the chemicals back in the soil, because our soils are phosphorus, whatever, deficient and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I hear the guys talking, right? I hear the guys talking. But that kind of technology and that kind of training is what we've been doing. And the curriculum is developed, and we hope to train many, many more, hopefully all our farmers. And now what we really want to do, I must tell you, even talking of One Health, taking it to another level, social health, we're trying to get our young people to be trained and to become farmers. We have idle land and we have idle young people. We want to train our young people in organic food production and put them on the land that they can do so and get sustainable livelihoods. And we can get the kind of produce that we need, be it livestock or plant. So I think that is all part of this good food revolution. And you know, I can't say it's going to happen. You say hope, right? So I want to go back to that powerful hope. I can see the vision.
That's right.
We have it. Now the thing is to deliver on it. And we are close. We are close.
That was a tunnel vision.
It's not a tunnel vision. It's a broad vision. But it's focused. I'm a pathologist. We focus.
Sydney, on the issue of the integration, again too, with the livestock production, the biomass that is going to be or is being produced, which a lot of it is not being, it's being used but not directed.
That's right.
In a very focused approach.
Yeah.
We're hoping that this, not hoping, this would help to reduce the amount of chemical fertilizers that have been imported and being used. You know, fertilizers are expensive. So at least if what we are hoping to achieve, when we achieve it,
that's the point. Yeah.
it's going to reduce significantly on the importation of chemical and use of chemical fertilizers.
That's right.
That means that it's a saving for the country, for the farmer as well. It's going to help increase the quality of our soils significantly, which is what the chemical fertilizer is destroying.
That's right.
So all of these runoffs that we're getting going back into our waterways, affecting the quality of the water that we ourselves consume,
That's right.
and the marine environment,
affected,
all of this would be addressed significantly.
Yeah.
So basically, the activities that we take on board on land, we know definitely it affects the marine environment.
Yes.
So directly,
Yes.
when we make those changes,
Yes.
we will have a healthier marine environment.
Yes.
Already, it's been challenged by the high temperatures in the seas because of the climate change.
That's right.
Less fishes now
On the surface.
that the farmers, the fishers can access.
Yes, right.
With a healthier coastal environment, we should be able to get more port fish.
That's right.
So at least can help to enhance, increase
Definitely.
our marine.
In fact, what you're
catch.
pushing, Doc, is that thing I said earlier. Eat fresh, St. Lucia's best.
Yes.
That is what we have been pushing, and we need to push that. Okay, finally, we are about to end. Public sensitization.
Yes.
How is that fitting? When is that going to start? I mean, okay, here is one avenue.
Truly.
Okay, so what's the continuation?
Okay, we've had, we made a request to have a number of discussions at the schools.
All right.
There was a very, very productive one with SAFA and Mikood Secondary. As a matter of fact, invitation was sent to the schools, but they were the only 2 schools who responded.
Okay.
The Veterinary Medical Association is taking an initiative where we refer to it as the Kiddies Pet Club, which we want to get into the schools and again to help kids to understand their responsibilities as pet owners, to become responsible pet owners. Through this initiative, I guess when we're going to bring on board the One Health concept, the Green Revolution. So this is a starting point where we want to infuse these concepts from a very early age.
Okay.
So that can mushroom and get us to where we want to go.
1 second.
We also want to do public sensitization education. We have some ads that are running promoting the whole concept. We also want to, however, see policy from Ministry of Education, curriculum development, which also teaches our children as part of their curriculum. So let's institutionalize One Health in our very curriculum and how we nurture our children so that it becomes their nature, or it is their nature already. We are just reinforcing and adding the actual education science to that nature so that they can truly be the powerful people that we know they have the potential to be.
Thank you, gentlemen. And I wish you all success. I mean, I can feel the vibe. I can feel yeah, man, I can really feel it, Doc. I mean, I hope you all take it to the next level and be pioneers to this and then, nurture it, and let us mushroom into bringing down our food import bill and let us eat healthy, all right? Eat fresh, St. Lucia's best.
That's right.
You have been watching Agriculture on the Move. I want to thank Dr. King and also Dr. Joseph. Of course, in fact, Dr. Joseph is a vet, so I just need to mention that. We did not mention that earlier. And of course, continue watching Agriculture on the Move, and then eat fresh, St. Lucia's best. Agriculture is our business. Goodbye. See you.
Thank you.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.